elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know when might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So all ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. Cause all I know is all ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. Cause all I know is all ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I am your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonough All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
Man, what's up, my beautiful people?
What's up, big dog? We're supposed to have Craig Hodges. He gonna join us late, but man, what's up, big fella? Man, we got a lot that we can talk about, man.
Yeah, man. Before Craig comes on and join us, man, a lot of things has been happening around in the sports arena and in the sports generation of basketball, from college to high school to the NBA. I mean, we can jump in and talk about a lot of things, man. But let's start off by, talking about the HBCU. And I saw what you had put out there on your post about they don't give the Northerners enough respect when they get them there, or are they really recruiting the Northerners, or they keeping the down south kids, down south, and just giving them lead way and not really representing and helping the Northerners?
Yeah, man. It's a touchy topic, because when you're talking HBCU, you're talking predominantly Black, and then you're talking the students who go to these institutions are predominantly Black, and the majority of us come from out of state. We love those HBCUs, HBCUs. Yeah, we love them to death. But on the flip side of that, the experiences that the athletes are facing is that a lot of times they don't touch the Northern athlete. And it's the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about that, and I see everybody, the NBA pushing this HBCU thing. They want everybody to go with HBCU. Let's get some attention on HBCU kids. But then what does that lead to Northern athletes? Because they want us to come, bring our money there, but they don't play us. They don't allow us to come there and play a lot of times. And I'm just wondering, has that narrative changed? Because I experienced it firsthand when I went there at Jackson State.
And what year was that?
I got down there in 1989. And they was making the coaching transition. I don't know if you're familiar with Andy Stoglen, but he had got the new head coaching job there. And he didn't know me. He didn't know anybody there. So, I walked on. I made that team. But it became clear to me that they gave preferential treatment to the guys who was from Mississippi.
Yeah. And I could see that happening, especially back in the day. It's you want to keep the home, the home city, home state, happy. So when you recruit there, to say, I'm just going to throw an example, Mississippi, Valley, state. I know there's a lot of guys that from Chicago that actually, went there, especially in my generation. We had 2 players from our high school that went there. But I do understand if a kid that's got some recognition in their backyard, the pressure, they get pressure, from, state, local state officials about, hey, we just gave you our #1 guy in the state, Mr. Basketball of this Mississippi State.
Right.
And now you got this kid who's from Chicago who's supposed to be, quote unquote, the man too. Which one you going to ride with? You're going to ride with that state player because you want to keep everybody happy so you can keep getting the state players coming.
Right. And that's what they do. And I don't knock it, but, it's funny how, because in Illinois, it's absolute different, Lid. We don't keep our kids here. No. We bring everybody in here. You know that. You was a great player here. You was one of the lucky guys. You stayed home, Your ass was damn not gone, though.
Yeah, but
people don't know you committed. It came home and had to decommit, but go ahead.
Yeah, and what it does to a lot of, especially like the University of Illinois, DePaul, program that when our Chicago kids go out of the state and go attend other universities, it hurts, the state, the state schools, because now you have to go look elsewhere to try to bring in the talent, which they did a good job. I mean, especially down at the University of Illinois, they have done a great job of bringing kids from all over now. You got kids on that team from New York, California,
Right.
Puerto Rico. It's different. It's a different beast now. But DePaul has to figure it out.
Right.
DePaul has to figure it out, and I think once they do that, we'll start seeing a different change. Hey, we look
So
like we
let me
got my.
ask you about DePaul. Okay, he ready?
Yeah, I think he's ready. Craig is ready. So, but go ahead and ask that question. What you were going to say?
I was just like, what do you think DePaul needs to do right now? Because they haven't been good in a very long time.
Well, I think they're going to have to definitely bring in somebody that's, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the coaching staff, but they're
Okay.
going to have to bring somebody in that they recognize that, people can get familiar with and want to see, DePaul get or be back on top. I mean, it's going to take some time, though. It's not going to happen overnight. That AD is from Kentucky, of course. I mean, he was the athletic director at Kentucky. He's used to winning. I don't think he
Mm-hmm.
came here to not win. So,
Right.
we shall see. Let's
Okay.
give my guy Craig Hodges on, man. I think he's
Let's
just
go.
chimed in. So let's get him.
We got the legend Craig Hodges joining us, man. One of the all-time greatest three-point shooters in the history of the game and the NBA. He did his thing in college. He did his thing in high school. Welcome to the show, Craig Hodges, one of my favorite. Bow! Oh, I'm knocking my headphones off. I'm getting excited. I'm ready to shoot, dog. How you doing, big guy?
I can't complain, brothers. How y'all feeling, man? Appreciate the
Yeah,
invite.
yeah, no doubt, Craig. We had to get you on, man. In my eyes, man, you were one of the best shooters that ever came out of Chicago. That's my opinion, and if people don't like it, so be it. But yeah. So, Craig, we always, like to have people, and we started this show, man, during COVID, actually,
Gotcha.
and we wanted to get people to come back on, like yourself. We got the old flavor coming back, the new school flavor. It's just like DJ. We digging into the crates. We're gonna
Right.
bring some old school. So you one of our old school guys that
Yes,
people
sir.
might have said, what's Craig Hodges up to now, man? We
Mm-hmm.
remember Craig with the Bulls. We remember him in the city. We remember him in the pro-am. What is he up
Right.
to? So, man, I just want you to get on and share your story, man, of what you up to. And first, we like to start off with who put that rock in your hand first. Now, who put the
Oh, man.
basketball in your hand?
Yeah, first of all, just thank God for getting the chance to, come across the airwaves, man, especially during this crazy period of time. But, it's one of those things for me. It was a blessing early in age, man. My grandpops was the park director in Chicago Heights, and my uncle was a, junior college scoring champ. And for me, it was one of those things. My aunts were teachers, so I was able to read and write before I even started knowing anything about basketball or sports. So education was always primary for me, but at the same time, it was always that sports part of it that made, that was the cream on top, man, that it gave you an opportunity to have fun and at the same time, create great memories and great friendships. So for me, it was always one of those things that it started early in age, and we were blessed to be able to continue and get an opportunity to go forward with the game. But, I always let people know my uncle was a stickler, man. He was the brother that used to take me on the school ground, elbow me, give me tougher, and give me to realize what the game was really about and how much training you really had to put in if you want to get to where you want to get to.
Wow. Wow. And it seems like that's what most of our, guests, when they come on, they talk about the family. It's always the family, somebody in the family that got them involved in the game of basketball. But Greg, I want to ask you a question, man. And do you think that people or basketball players automatically become great shooters is in their DNA, or do they have to work on that? Because it seems like, man, you are natural. It's like when I watched those all-star games when you were shooting, man, it's just like it seemed like it was just so easy coming off those fingertips.
Yeah, you know for yourself how much time you put into that, man. And for me, it's one of those things I tell people, it's nothing, there's no real natural in anything, man. I feel like everyone is taught, you're taught that you have to get a good teacher to become a good student. And for me, I had excellent training coming up on the basketball level, man. And you know, it's one of those things where I love shooting the basketball from the time I was a little boy. At 8 years old, I remember going on the school ground in Chicago Heights and being on the court until it got dark, a lot of times by myself. So it was one of those things that you're honing. And when I look back at it, the more I shot, you know, when it was twilight time before the sun went down, I think that's when I really developed my eye for shooting because, you know, on the school ground at that time, there wasn't any nets. So the only real place I could see the rim was from the corners. So when I look at how well I shot from the corners, a lot of that had to do with me being able to see the basket later in the day just from the side, and there wasn't anything but a line. And I was just trying to get my ball over that line. And now come to see when I train people about shooting, that's one of the first things I ask them, what are you looking at? You know, and so many people will say, well, I'm looking at the back of the rim. And I'm like, well, you're not 12 feet tall. So I can guarantee you that 70 to 80% of your shots are coming up short because you're looking underneath the rim. And, you know, I try to get them to visualize about, you know, 6 inches above the rim, 2 inches inside of it, and take the rim away. And all we're looking at is that point in space where if I hit that point, one inch to the right or left, it's still going to go in because two balls go in at one time.
Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about, Bobby. When you hear somebody that actually, I wasn't a shooter. I was more of like a scorer, but listening to him like talk in details about how he teaches and how he asks questions about what are you looking at? You know, I teach basketball too, and I asked the same thing, and they said, I look at the rim. I said, that's a big old rim, man.
Right.
So
and that I think that's one of the biggest things when I think about my shooting is that the precision side of it. When I look at a lot of what's going on today, the commercial side of the game, when I look at, you know, the 3-point contest the other night, it's funny to me that, you know, that's not a contest that Bird and I shot in. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of the biggest things that me and my son talk about is that when we shot in a competition, you had someone on the other end shooting at the same time. So it's a competition within a competition where now everything is so commercial that we have to fluff this thing up because the product is either watered down or now it's to a point where it's COVID down. So we have to try to come up with as many gimmicks as we can. When you look at, you know, that was one of the things, and me and my partner, who's a businessman, we were talking about how's the NBA gonna make money with no fans in the seats. And now we look at their new NFTs that they're coming out with to promote, you know, different players and different things. So that and gambling and video games, that look like where the future is headed for right now.
So Craig, you played in the NBA, of course, for a very long time. Back then, when you were playing, it was people getting knocked down on their butt. You know, you had to earn your stripes, you know, if you wanted to get out there on that court. It is, to me, more entertainment than playing serious basketball. Like, I'm not saying it's not serious, but kind of like what you just mentioned, like the NBA is searching, trying to make sure that they have the right thing so they don't miss out on that endorsement, you know, from these corporations. So
it's a foreign game. It's a foreign game to me, man. You know, you look at it, it would have been fun for me to play in, you know what I'm saying? Dribble around and come over here and give me a screen, Marcus, and roll to the basket. No, you wouldn't even roll. Now you're pick and pop to three. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at Joel Embiid and how many threes he shoots, it's you know, it's amazing to me because now it becomes a positionless game. So the game that we played and the way we played it, it's a big difference. And I think the biggest difference is just the actual skill level. For me, when I watched the skill drills the other night, and you have 2 6'10", 6'11" foreign guys win the skills competition. When we were in this within the context of All-Star Weekend, if you did that, you were the best. So I guess they're the best skilled players. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny to me. It's funny to me, but at the same time, we know that how much money the NBA spent going overseas to promote the game, and you know the level of promotion on that side of the water is one of fundamental skills. Where on this side of the water is one of athleticism. So if you have the biggest hops and you can make the ooh-wee plays, and that's what's happening on this side of the water. Where over there, You look at the Luka Doncic and those type of guys who have a whole skill package that can, have longevity to it.
Wow.
Mm.
So, Craig, why is it that someone like yourself, right, who is in many, many eyes, knows the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? You should be, this is my opinion, you should be coaching some specialists, in the NBA. I know you did it for the Lakers for a minute. You
Mm-hmm.
had you worked with the likes of Kobe Bryant and just to name a few, those guys that you work with on their shots and all that. I think you should be on somebody's either a coach or you should be, that guy. If you want to
You
learn
know,
how to shoot, you should be
one
with
of
Craig Hodges.
one of the funny things for me is, we talked about your nephew and working with him. That's the biggest thing to me, man, is utilize me as a resource. And that's either individually or collectively when we talk about a team. So I look at the level, having been blackballed from the league. I'm one of the only players. I'm proud. My son has the history of it. He gives it to me and he tells me, "Man, Pop, some of the things that you did, ain't nobody ever did. You won 2 world championships and 3 consecutive 3-point titles and never played again. Nobody ever did that. So just from that
Right.
standpoint, there's something that you can lend to some team. And for me, it's funny because I tell people if the first team that goes back to using triangle is going to win at least 3 championships in a row, because once you go back to passing interior and cutting interior, it's going to make a different. It's going to make a team change up their game plan on the offensive end because they're going to have to play some defense now, as opposed to just try to chase you off the 3-point line and know that most of the time. And the cold part about the way the game is played today, you chase somebody off the 3-point line, they go baseline and they draw and kick to the other 3-point line, and nobody's drawing and kicking and driving to the basket unless it's a dunk. So I'm in New York with their D League team, and they're doing all this analytical job. And then I ask them, I say, so what is the fundamental goal in your analytical process? Well, we rather have threes more than twos. I say, okay, I get that, but you don't want anything. You don't want a free throw line jump shot. You don't want a in between. No, we rather have a 3-pointer, and if it's not a 3-point shot, we want to have a dunk. So for me, that's, you missing a whole lot of the game. And then when I told him, I said, that's part of the reason New York ain't won forever.
Hey,
Wow.
let me hop in, Liv. I want to ask Craig something, and I'm glad you said that because I said the same thing. If somebody go back to the old way that they used to play, and I believe, would you agree that's why the Raptors are still pretty good? Teams like that, don't they play the old school style?
Yeah,
Toronto Raptors.
yeah, and I think a lot of teams are playing to, when I look at the Raptors, they're playing to what their personnel is, man. A lot of these teams are playing, they're trying to play a game that's outside of the personnel that you have. So you have teams cashing up threes and who should really have guys slashing to the bucket and dishing off to the block or whatever. But none of that, a lot of that's lost in the game, man. I think a lot of it has to do with, the advent of AAU basketball and the impact of players like LeBron James and Kevin Durant, who are young guys who were, maybe 2 or 3 years away from AAU basketball. We still boys. We're still boys. Now we're millionaire boys. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we can come into the league. And not only that, the young brothers realize that it ain't no league without me. So on some levels, they wield a certain level of power that we didn't wield at the time because, when we came through, the coach was an authoritarian type figure, and management, to some degree, we looked at management as authorities as opposed to really challenging them on a level of, this is who I want to play with. And that's where it is now. Guys are playing with who they want to play with and trying to stack up a team to win a championship where, back in the day, it was one of those things where we had a certain loyalty to the city that we played in.
Mm.
That's facts. That's facts.
Mm.
That's facts, and I think we need to change that, man. And Craig, so I want to also know, like, let the listeners know what you up to. So, because we have a lot of listeners that's got kids that play basketball, man, and I'm all about, like what you said, trying to help people, especially in Chicago. My heart is always Chicago. And how can they find you, to let you critique or evaluate their son or their daughter's talent?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that me and my son are working on now. We have Chicagoland Athletics, and we're working on building the whole program where it's truly about being a student athlete, man, and realizing that the impact that you have. And for me, I look at it as a 2-lane highway for life, man. That you have your athletics and you have your sports and you have your educational side of things, and that if it gets slow on one side, maybe you can put on your your turn signal, and be able to get to the other lane and pass somebody by who can't really read quick enough, so you can get to the next level, man. So it's that type of vibration, man. And you can catch us on hodgeonhoop.com, the real Craig Hodges on the Instagram job. But mainly, man, we're here at Chicago locally, in the south suburbs. My son was at Rich East, and now we're doing stuff at Obama School, in as far as training people. So we'll be there this evening, things, and just getting some workouts.
Oh, so you'll be there this evening. What time? You'll be there?
Well, right now we're kind of up in the air, but we're there most days. We try to get in and get a little bit in, and likewise, right, the way it is now, we have to jump around and try to find places, man. You know how it is. That's why we're in the process of building our own facility.
Wow. Well, man, when you make sure you come back, man, when you get your facility, man, because I believe you're gonna get it.
Like I said, you got the number, brother. Anytime, man. Let me know when you need anything I can do to help you, brothers. And let me know. And likewise, I'll reach out. I know we have April 3rd. We're gonna do a thing at Washington Park with Dr. King. So I'll make sure I get you that information so you can let the people know.
Yes, definitely do that, man.
Hey, let me hop in here, Liv. I don't want to cut you off, but Craig, I went to Chicago State when you was coaching there, and I remember sitting there having a conversation with you on the bench. I was like, I asked you, you might not remember that. I was like, so Craig, where's your range at? Like, where your range at? You were like, man, my range started in the locker room, dog. You probably don't remember that, but you said that. But I wanted to say this, man, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you standing up, man, and being a leader for young guys like me. Watching you play ball and not succumbing to the money and the fame and all of that, because you put your career on the line, man, for what you did. So I just want to tell you thanks, man, for that, man.
I appreciate you, brother. The funny part about the money side of it is I was with my partner out in Arizona working out, and he said, man, we went to high school together. He's like, man, when you was at Rich East, I know you were thinking about the millions you were going to make in the league. And I was like, brother, money never entered my mind, man. It really didn't. When I look back on it, it was about, competing against brothers at King High School, you know what I'm saying? And the squad that they had and the brothers they had. And I got my comrades over here who aren't really up to speed, but I know from a competitive mindset I feel like we can play against anybody, man. So, I think it was that is the part of it that I think a lot of people miss when they get caught into the trappings of whatever it is, whether it's entertainment, whether it's banking or whatever. We look at the money as opposed to what it really entails to become that what you want to become. And then if you do it the right way, you become a professional at it, and then you get paid for it. So I think a lot of times we try to put the cart before the horse, because work habits and work acumen is something that it's not the American way right now. It's all about instantaneous gratification and not to put in the time and energy and effort for it. And right now, I think that's the biggest thing we can teach our children is the things that you want the most is working for and putting your energy and effort into it and knowing that it's something that you did, not something that somebody gave you.
Like Craig, like I always say this, man, and I think it had something to do with your parents.
No question.
I really believe that's why you are who you are, from your upbringing and watching your parents, work or whatever. They instilled something in you that you believed in, and you stuck with it. You didn't say, no, this is not what I'm about. This is what I'm about, and this is what I'm gonna continue to be about. And I think so many people. A friend of mine told me this, and I believe it now, Craig. Like he says, whoever's behind the camera controls the narrative, right? But if Craig Hodges had that camera and he's going out shooting all these celebrities, you can say just about whatever you want about those celebrities, But now that you said what you had said when you went to the, White House, like you was trying to make a difference. You like this is for my people. This is for back home. This is what this is what I want to do for my home people, man. And I don't think nothing's wrong with that. That's what I got upset with.
Mm-hmm. And that's the part where, we look at Colin Kaepernick and what's going on and now with brothers being able to stand up to a degree. It's all about principles, man. And once again, like you said, it was based on my upbringing. that, you know, I look back at it and uh, it wasn't really out of character for me, because it was one of those things that my mom, freedom fighter, my granddad was union organizer. So it's just a matter of knowing that, you know, it's your when you have an opportunity to stand on something, man, do it. And don't be afraid of what the cause. You know, you think about John Carlos and Tommy Smith in the Olympics, you think about Muhammad Ali and Kurt Flood, and those were the people that I was taught growing up about. And for me, it's a blessing to be able to stand in that vein, and know that you standing on principles, and you don't have to validate the truth, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
yeah, that is real right there, man. And that's why we like to have people like Craig come on, man, and share and drop some knowledge, because a lot of times our kids, parents are pretty young and they don't understand what's going on, and then they get involved in this AAU like you talked about earlier, and then once you hand them off to that AAU coach or that AAU program, they control now. They have the control
Incredible,
of
incredible.
what's going on, how he's going to be recruited, and all this. So we have to educate the parents on what
Right.
this looks like. And what do you think about the AAU?
Well, you know, once again, I was blessed that, you know, my uncle in 1963, 64, he was a junior college scoring champ and that kind of thing. So when I was growing up at 8 and 9 years old, I was going to watch my uncle play AAU basketball. And it was truly amateur athletic union that they were,
Mm,
it was guys who didn't go to college, who were great ball players, who had a chance to get on teams, and they played all over the country against other guys who were somewhat semi-pro. So it was amazing to see where AAU basketball has gone from what I saw it as being as a young man, and seeing how important it was of a tie over for, you know, you had guys who would go to work all day at the factory and then go play AAU game at 7 o'clock in the evening and go back to work the next day. And then on the weekends, they would go travel somewhere and play another AAU team. And then you had guys who were, you know, going into the pros, as far as, you know, guys who didn't quite make the pros their first rip, but they play AU and then they get a chance to go back to the league and compete. So it's a different mindset. And I think that's the part that's lost today, is that the exploitation of the game is such where you have to be mindful. You know, you have to be mindful of how many games. Like for me, I have two boys that competed hard in basketball, and I've said a hard, fast rule that you're not going to play 60 games in the summer, you know, because to me, knowing, and Marcus, you know as well, that you only have so many games in your body, and you want those
mm-hmm.
to be from 18 to 32 possibly, as opposed to having them when you're 12 and 14, where you're playing 30 and 40 games in the summer, and you're not working on your weaknesses. You're working on just winning and trying to impress somebody. And that's not what it's about. It's about becoming a well-rounded player. And like Tex Winter taught us, in order to be a player, you got to be able to read, and that's on and off the court. So
Wow.
it's a great game, man. It's a great game.
Well, so Greg, we always like to talk about this too. We all had that guy in the neighborhood that was a
Right.
hell of a ball player, but
Mm-hmm.
he went down the wrong road, and didn't get back on that right street and that right
Mm-hmm.
path. Who was that guy in your neighborhood, man, that you felt that, man, he used to give me the business, and now, he went down that wrong road, and he just didn't pan out what we all thought he would be.
Well, you know, I got him on a couple levels. On the high school level, and that level was Raymond McCoy. You know,
Oh yeah, Raymond Cole was tough.
Ray was the man. You know, so for me growing up in the Heights, me and Ray was running boys. So I was always on the coattails of Ray, and Ray was right there with Isaiah as the top point guards in the country. So it was always one of the things that Ray was a can't miss. And just you know, he and I talk about it all the time, the difference in support base that I had compared to his. There was a big
Mm,
difference. So, where his was one that was, you know, almost hanging on him going pro, as opposed to supporting him in whatever successes he had, which was mine. So I look at the difference in that being a big part of it. And then the second one is Dwight Anderson, who played at Kentucky, and then we had a chance to play against one another when he was at USC, and he was supposed to be the number one guard drafted in our time, and he got drafted by Washington Bullets. But Dwight was he was a brash young brother, and they
Mm,
made an example of him. So It's certain guys that I saw growing up, and I had a chance to play with Dwight in our training camp my second year, and he was the best player in camp, and he still got cut. So it's one of
Wow.
those things where you see the politics of it, as well as you see where some guys, like when I look at Raymond, it was just one of those things where you have some of the support base that you had growing up earlier that gave you some confidence when that base was taken away, that you have the confidence on your own to do it. A lot of times, I think, when it comes rubber meeting the road, guys don't really know where they really sit and what they can do basically on their own. So, a lot of times, Marcus, that you'll see a guy who can get it in, but then when you put him in that formal basketball environment, he becomes a different person. And you're just like, man, this cat is nowhere near the aggressor that he was when he was just playing basketball, where now he's trying to think this formal game because it's referees and coaches or whatever. But everybody's seen those guys grow up, and to me, Raymond was. You think about it, Raymond was probably only one or two players off that McDonald's team that didn't go pro.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So that would be one of you, that would be your guys, man, that you just mentioned. And to see how you made it, do you look at it as, why me and not Raymond, or
Once again, I look at just the path, man. Tex Winter, Tex Winter grabbed me, man, as 18, saw me play in the city suburban game, the first city suburban game that we had, and he took me to Long Beach. I always wanted to go to California because UCLA was winning all the championships during that period of time. So I wanted to go to UCLA, but really I just wanted to get out of this cold weather. So all the schools, all the schools in the Big Ten recruited me. Bobby Knight was the first one to recruit me, and I was like, nah, man, I definitely don't want to go to Indiana with your crazy ass. So when Tex came and got me to go to Long Beach, man, it was like a dream come true as far as being able to go to the weather, and then at the same time when I got out there to find Black Studies. I had Dr. Maulana Karinga was my first Black Studies professor, and he was the founder of Kwanzaa. So I was blessed to have all kind of tutelage, man, along the path, man, that I know a lot of brothers like Raymond didn't have. And as far as, when I got to Long Beach State, I was cuffed by Tex Winter, but I always also was cuffed by the brotherhood to let me know what my responsibility was to the community should I get a chance to play professionally.
man, Craig? So you were with Tex Winters for a while.
Yeah, man, and that's why I tell people. I look at, you look at the triangles you look at the championships that the Triangles won on the NBA level, and I had it for 4 years at school. So the 4 years at school, we learned it against zone trap, full court trap, half court press, whatever it was. So the actual total knowledge of triangle, only a third of it was used to win the championships that's won on the NBA level, man, which is incredible when you stop and really think
Yes.
about it. That's how cold the system is that you win in championship, you didn't even have to face full court pressure. And it's a triangle for that. So it's a lot larger than people. And then look at it now where people are like, oh, you can't run that, it's obsolete. Yeah, it's obsolete because don't nobody know it but me.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and you see people tried it back in the day, and they were like, man, this stuff is like, it probably, like you said, it's got a lot to do with you understanding the game, the IQ. Your IQ has to be really, really high.
The funniest part of it is the most basic of things going. So when people say they don't know how to do it, because every part of it deals with the game. So when we walk on the court, that's footwork. So
Right.
when we start to walk our laps in 15 feet of space, so the first thing we're doing, we're walking on the court and we're walking into 15 feet spacing 3 times around the court. So once he says stop, we look and now we know 15 feet of space. So that goes right into our offensive spacing. So when I look at the way the game is played today, spacing is so ugly, man. It's how many times guys come together on a dribble handoff and they don't get double teamed is incredible to me. That is almost like, I'm gonna let you dribble handoff. I'm gonna let you dribble handoff. Now you pass the way you want to pass to, shoot 3 so we can get it to go the other way. It's a different game, brother. I'm so glad I played when I played, man. I'm
Right.
glad I played. We played during the golden era of the game. You know, I think about you just think about the summer league games that we had at ITT and you know at Chicago State and all of that, man. It was comparable to what's going on now, man. When you look at that being played, that what's being played today, like you said, is commercial, and we got to see how many buckets we can get.
And Greg, I also want to let you know, man, how much I really appreciate guys who came before me. You know, you, Teddy Grubbs, Terry
Yes,
Cummins,
sir. Yes,
Glenn
sir.
Doc Rivers, Levi Cobb, all you
Man,
guys, Mark Aguirre, who paved the way for myself and a lot of other guys. And now this next generation of hoopers, I think they need to come back and let the youngsters know, man, that they can be successful. They can be someone. And,
yeah,
and I just
yeah.
don't see that. And I don't know if it's because of the crime, that was going on in Chicago, but I think we missing that, man. And I know
And
you came back and gave that to me.
and I think that's something that we have to work on, and I think it's something that can be done, man. I think it's a lot of guys like Ricky Green who are in the area, and that I think it's a lot of us who are here, and it's not a matter of us not wanting to be involved, but it's a matter of a lot of people don't know that we're around to be involved. So we have to let it be known that we're the resource for this game, as well as giving some observations of how you can get better with your game. So that's my biggest task, man. Is just and let people know I'm around it, man. And like I said, with the people, man, let them know I'm around. When we want to get in the gym, we can get some shots up, man.
Well, we definitely gonna promote that for you, brother, man, for sure.
Appreciate you.
And Ricky Green, we would love to have Ricky Green come on one day, man, and share his story because Ricky Green is another true legend, from the crib, man.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And then quick, let me ask Craig something real quick, Liv.
Go ahead.
Craig, man, you're watching these new guys nowadays play the game, and they getting astronomical amounts of money.
Right.
Don't you feel that they have an obligation to come back and help these young kids that's coming up in the community to be able to see a better way? Do you feel that?
That, and I think one of the biggest things, man, to whom much is given, much is required. But once again, it's what you've been taught. So if you haven't been taught it, a lot of it, we might miss it. And then, one of the cool parts, though, man, is I think with social media, you're getting a lot more enlightenment. You're getting a lot more conscious athletes, as well as entrepreneurs who realize that you've been given a certain amount in this life, so you have a certain amount that you can, possibly help the next generation about. But I think the biggest message for me today that I want people to know is that, with all of this, man, we're free now. We have the freedom to be able to do what we want to. This is in fact the case of that. 20 years ago we wouldn't have been able to do this show. That now you're able to do this in a manner that you can become entrepreneur in your mindset with it. You can promote it in a way that you can build a network, and that network can be instantaneous support. And that's what I found with Colin Kaepernick is that, when he knelt, it was able to be broadcast social media wide, and how many sisters stood on his behalf who quit watching NFL, and NFL realized the impact of Black women. And, they that, if sisters start pulling the plug on things, the plug is pulled. So they realize, and I think that's what we have to realize that we have a lot more impact than we had in the past. And now I think in our maturity, we're starting to utilize it in a manner that's good for us.
That's real.
We got a couple of questions on Facebook on our stream live. One guy, I can't see the name because it just says Facebook user, says, what do you think the biggest problem with the NBA now?
It's other than you're fanless. I think you're fanless and you're positionless. It's a transition that's going on. And I think the paradigm is really shifting, and it's going to be something to watch over the next couple of years of how it pans out. Because to me, I'm looking at the different avenues the NBA is using to make money right now. You have the betting. So I'm watching the All-Star game, and you got the betting thing scrolling at the bottom. You have the video games, and now you have the NFT platform for fungible trading, non-fungible trading. So they're utilizing different mechanisms, but the bottom line is still the Black athlete. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
until we get hip to that, whatever goes down, you still got to have brothers who hoop, man. And
right.
I think the power sharing the power sharing going forth is going to be something to see that when we start to get ownership for real.
Mm.
Mm, mm.
All right. So, Craig, before we let you go, I know you got a busy schedule, man. I want you to drop some knowledge to somebody that may have a kid or son or daughter that wants to get involved in the game of basketball, but they don't know how to go about it. What kind of advice would you share, to them?
One of the biggest things, we had a young brother we were sitting with the other day that, he's 22 years old and he wants to play basketball and he wants to play on a professional level. And I'm like, dude, when have you played before? So it's a matter of, realizing where you are. And I think a lot, especially now with the way, this handheld technology is to put yourself, envelop yourself in that what you want to do. So if you want to be there's plenty of ways to see how to train as a professional athlete, how to train to become a professional athlete on the internet. Now, put yourself in a position to make that happen, whether it be get with your parents and let them know that you want to do this thing for real. And to me, it's going inside and knowing that I got to run my miles, I have to run my sprints, I have to do certain things to be prepared to play the game. And a lot of times what I'm seeing with the AAU is a lot of parents are living vicariously through their children to want them to play. And a lot of times the child doesn't want to play. So I think it's big on us to know that this is something that our child really wants to do, and then to find the proper course. Because a lot of times when I'm looking at the AAU stuff going on, a lot of guys are running around screaming at children and they don't have a clue about how to coach. So
Nope.
it's a fine blend, man, to be able to get your child in a program that's, quality, and at the same time is disciplined enough to get them to realize that it's a game for the longevity and it's a game that can give you an opportunity to go to school with. And once you go to school with it, I feel like that's the gravy of it, that you actually did something with the game when you get a scholarship and you're able to get there and see that it's a student athletic thing, not just an athletic thing.
Hmm. Wow. I don't know if you can see that next question down there, Craig. I want you to look at that. It's from Curly Boo.
Yes.
That's from Curly Boo right
Can
there.
you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I haven't
wanted-
spoken to MJ. I think the last time I talked to MJ was probably when we had the reunion for 20 years, when it was 20 years reunion. So that was 10 years ago, maybe. And
Okay.
so was I offended? No, I wasn't offended. In fact, things like that, man, is to me, it's almost like somebody giving you kudos. You know what I'm saying? Right on, brother, because I wasn't supposed to be in that garbage, and I feel like the creator blesses me for and guides my steps to be able to put me in a position that the fact that he didn't interview me, brothers, that blew my book up so much, man. My book has been translated in Italian and Spanish just since the Last Dance. So it's funny to me, it's been optioned to be a documentary and feature film. So it's a lot of stuff that's rolling off of that from the the funny part to me is that he interviewed 106 people. Now, it's some of them folks that wasn't in practice with him. Some of them folks wasn't on the buses with him. Some of them folks wasn't taking them bowls and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to me was, hey, brother, I fought and bled with you during that Detroit garbage. You know what I'm saying? That I was, hey, now UMJ, I'm Hodge. But if Hodge wasn't with you, we wouldn't get them rings, brothers.
Ain't no way, because you caught fire, Joe.
And that's the part where I'm like, the whole thing of the Last Dance and Michael being the man. I'm like, if you'd have came in our locker room, you'd have saw Bill Cartwright was the man.
I heard he threatened to break Jordan's legs, right?
Period. Bill Cartwright was the man. Now, we can talk all of this in the public venue, but in the private setting, Bill Cartwright was the sergeant of arms. Period.
Okay. Okay, and that's I mean, we hearing it right here from the man who was there, So you were there, in the trenches with those Chicago Bulls runs that y'all had, and to see, like you say, you still Hodges. You still doing you. You still got books. You still got a documentary coming out. So, I mean, did we as fans, Craig, want to see you be a part of that? Yes, and that's why I think he asked that question. And same thing with us. We wanted to know why wasn't you in that? You know.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, and like, you know, the way he did his teammates, man, is something that we, you know, the next generation should learn from. That, you know, certain things that we go through in training and working that is sacred, man, to a lot of us who are athletes. That, you know, you get to go to this path, and now we go through this thing, and we get here, and there's certain things that go on. It should stay within the context of the squad. It shouldn't go to the larger public on some
Mm.
levels, and he threw his boys under the bus about it being a cocaine circus, and
Oh
you know,
yeah.
and all of this stuff, man. That was
Oh,
that was kind of that was kind of
that was
that
wrong.
wasn't a black brother to me. That was something
Right.
that came from a corporate type of fellow.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
So before we go now, Craig, I got somebody
Yeah.
just wanted one more thing. They said, "Who is the
Mhm.
best shooter in today's game in your eyes?"
Besides Kirby, they said, Liv.
Oh,
Besides Curry, okay.
besides stuff, you know, when I look at just when I to me, it's the trajectory that your career has gone to take you from shooter D to shooter A. And when I look at somebody's progress like that, and then to maintain that, I love the way uh, Kawhi Leonard shoots the ball.
Okay. Yep, because
You
I can
know,
see he was at that D stage and
yeah,
he
when
gotten
you
better and
you
better.
look
Yeah,
at you
I
look
can
at
see that.
you look at when he came in San Antonio, he was a defensive stopper and slasher.
Mhm.
And then when you look at him when he won his last championship, he was straight up knocking that boy down like it was no tomorrow, man. And the beautiful part about shooting is, as a shooter, I can see what's in the shooter's mind. All right, so
Mhm.
you can see at times when he would adjust just enough to finish in the proper form. So
Mm-hmm.
as a shooter, see when the release points are just a little bit earlier because I'm shooting from a little bit farther, or they're just a little bit later because I can hold off because I know I'm closer to the basket and I have hands the size of you know what I'm saying? So it's certain things that so it's that I love the way he shoots the ball, but once again, you can't take away the guys like the Harris kid in Brooklyn, Joe Harris. He
Mm-hmm.
shoots it very well. So it's a lot of them, man. But to me, I feel like still to this day, our generation of shooters, we could hang with all of them, man.
Okay. All
So
right.
you end up beating Steph Curry in the shootout.
I tell you this, it wouldn't be to me. It's like this. When I watch Steph shoot the ball, he shot it no purer than me. He's shooting it no purer than I shot it. You know what I'm saying? And I look at and same thing that he shoots a lot of his shots on the way up. He shoots a lot of his shots out of a 2-foot jump stop. 98% of the shots I shot when I was in the league, I shot it out of a 2-foot jump stop because most of the time I was catching on a catch and shoot mode. And if the defense approached me and ran me off the line, I caught it in 2-foot jump stop because I could use either foot as my pivot foot to run
Mm.
off the defense.
Mm.
So it was that mindset and once he got past the defender, I could go right back into my house. So it's just Steph shoots it, man. But once again, I'm getting my legs back in shape just to shoot some more jumpers.
Right.
They should
Right.
do that, Liv. They should have the old school come back with the new school.
Yep, they
You know,
should.
and the one thing I would like to see him do is put another guy on the other end and let them both shoot at the same time and make it
Right.
and make it
Pressure.
make it more competitive. I think about my first victory in the 3-point contest was in Miami, and the first round it was me against MJ, and it was such a mental thing that I'm just shooting my ball and I'm hearing the fans react, and I know I'm knocking down Jay, but I know MJ is on the other end, so they got to be reacting to him, not me, right? I hit my last J, and then I look up at the board, and he only hit 9 shots, and I started laughing. I'm like, because the thing about the competition is this: if you don't miss, simple. If you don't miss, you can't lose, right? So my mindset was that if I hit 19 in a row, 20 in a row, I'm gonna get to the finals. So just don't miss. And I know that when I was shooting against MJ, I was shooting at a clip when I wasn't really missing any. Like, I turn and I look, I'm like, man, you done made the lowest score in history. Stay in that rarefied air territory. That's yours. Don't come down here on this level.
Oh man, we have to. Wait, somebody said one more question. What three players today would be perfect for the triangle offense? Okay, that's a good question by Mark Brown.
Man, if you put that Brooklyn team in triangle, they win 5 years in a row. They win 5 years in a row, and they'll use 40% less energy that they're using right now. Harden would love it because and the cool part when you got somebody like Harden and Durant, and you got 4 cats that can do something for you in the last 2 minutes of a quarter or a half or whatever. When you have that part of it, the triangle is really unbeatable. So like us, we could be triangle for 8 minutes, and then the last couple minutes we go to MJ and he can go isolation, and you haven't seen it. So now we can come back to triangle when the quarter starts. We can come back to, and then we can always go back to isolation basketball in between. But the isolations are so mixed into the movements of the system that it's going to be hard to know that we're in ISO. So we would catch MJ at the elbow and Kobe at the elbow, and they're used to that guard hitting and coming off. When that guard hitting goes the other way, now you over there by yourself on the island. That's going to be hard to mess with, man. So a lot of it, when I look at a KD or LeBron in triangle, it's incredible. But once again, you could take that Clipper team and put them in triangle, and they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. You know, I can see that. Yeah. It's amazing that a lot of teams won't take that concept, man, the triangle, and just
man. They don't want to hire brother, man. They don't want to hire brother, man.
They got to get you. That's right. They got to get Craig. Let you show them how to run that thing.
I'm writing a book right now, though. I'm writing a book with Texas Sons on the triangle because he left a lot of stuff for me to put out here, so I'm gonna put it out.
So do you have anybody? Do you have anybody, Craig, in the NBA that kind of reminds you of yourself?
Oh man, it's weird. You know, it's funny because I came in the league playing point guard. So I played point guard my first 3.5, 4 years, and then Don Nelson went to point forward with Paul Pressey. And at that point, my shooting became almost, that's when you pigeonholed me to be just being a shooter as opposed to ball handling and all of that. So I would say, man, maybe kid Joe Harris, who's spotting up shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? JJ maybe, somebody like that. You know, JJ gets to put it a little bit more on the floor than I did, and it was a different day, though, man. You know, the way we played through our system as opposed to the system being played by us. And you know, the system now is, you know, you can come. You think about it, man. If I had the ball in my hand, I'm watching some guys come down and literally dribble the whole entire shot clock and then shoot a three. That's just like. You know how some things you do and you at the crib and you do them in front of your mom and you be like, oh, I hope she didn't see that. That's almost that mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's almost that mentality where you doing something, you be like, oh, I know this ain't right. I hope it, you know, those type of plays where I'm like, man, some of this stuff is obscene. It's just
right.
It's total violation of the basketball principles that we learned in learning how to become a complete basketball player.
I agree.
That I feel bad for my teammates just scrapping on the loose ball. I get the loose ball. They give me the loose ball. I come down here, dribble up the whole clock, and then shoot it. And now they got to go back and defend for me again.
Right.
That's the culture nowadays, though.
That's what he said. That's exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, but I want to get Craig one of my coaching devices, though. I got a coaching device, Coach Craig. I'm gonna give you one, man, because you're one of my favorite players. I just want to spill it to him real quick, man. So I got these coaching devices, coach, to help say your voice, man. It's a wireless headset and it's a waist amplifier. It's upside down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So I want to get you one of these, man, so it can help amplify your voice, man. Because I know all these years you've been in the gym and you lose your voice. So just I found out a way to get up with you.
I'm not quite Bill Cartwright.
Hey, well, Craig, man, you keep doing what you're doing, man. You and your son, man, and I'm glad you partnered up with your son, man. Ain't no better way to do it with family, and keep running your business and doing that. And when I come back to home, I'm in Florida now, but when I come back to Chicago, I'm gonna connect with you, man, and get my nephew with you. Definitely.
That's it.
Before I get there, he's gonna get with you.
Done deal.
And man, we just gotta uplift our kids, man. This next generation. Yeah, get your son. You got Bob. Bob, you got 10 kids.
They got 2 squads. You got 2 squads.
I got a few.
No, man. I mean, we try to. I want to just help Craig get the next. He got to tap into these next generation of kids, man.
Yeah, I might send my boys out there tonight. Find out how much it costs, man.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and also your book. You say you got a book already out.
Yes, it's called. Let me actually.
Yeah, share that, man, with some of our viewers. Yeah, I can't. Let's see it.
There we go.
There we go.
Long shot.
Yeah,
nice. That's dope,
man. That is dope. I like that. Long shot. Make sure you can go find that pretty much anywhere, probably, right? If you just hit long shot in the
Google it, it'll pop up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna get a copy too.
Keep me posted, man. Anything I can do, brothers, I'm with it. Let me know.
All right, got you, my brother, man. Appreciate you, Greg, man. Stay safe, man, and love you, man.
Yep.
We got Greg Hodges in the building.
All right, love you.
For sure. Peace.
All right, take care, Greg Hodges.
For 3.
Let me borrow your elbow, man. I need it.
All right. That gooseneck.
Well, man.
Another good one, man. Craig Hodges.
That was a great one,
man. Man. Craig Hodges is something, man, that a lot of times you see people like switch up and meaning what he believes. His beliefs was, I'm all about the community. And now I have this platform. I should be able to use this platform to whatever I think that can benefit my community.
Right.
And sometimes, you have to step out the box and stick to your guns. He stuck with his guns. You heard what he said. After that, they didn't want that. And it's sad that you see it now. You letting people talk and stand up for.
Well, that's Adam Silver. Adam Silver, the hip hop. He the hip hop.
But still, that should have happened. Back then.
But David Stern, man, he was a driver, man. I ain't gonna say slave driver. He was, hey, you guys got to dress up before the games. And you know what I'm saying? But Craig is everything that I thought he would be, though, Lid.
No doubt.
Personality rise, and he's everything that I thought. So I can't understand how somebody could have got offended from him, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like an asshole or anything like that.
At all.
It was really about what he believed in.
That was it.
And just like me, what if I believe in something, then I'm gonna go out at it. I'm gonna go on and talk about it and try to share it with people. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad we started All Ball Chicago, because we're not attached to any we're not attached to any like network, meaning ABC, NBA, or
right.
whatnot, or we not journalists, trying to interview, people. We want people to come on and especially, old time, new guys,
right.
Old guys, to get interviewed or talk about their upbringing. And he did it.
Now he did his thing. Guy Elroy said, "What's our schedule?" Elroy, we don't have no schedule.
That's why Elroy, that's why we do what we do, man, because if we come out with a schedule, man, it's just gonna be 24/7.
Right.
You know, so we have to, you know, sometimes I'm busy doing what I do. Bob has his culture device. He's flying all over the country trying to promote that. I'm doing basketball, teaching and mentoring kids. So it's kind of hard. This is what we do on the side, but we have so much fun doing it. Man, I'm just glad that you guys continue to support and watch us.
But more often than not, we usually do noon or 7 Central Standard Time. It depends. But make sure you go subscribe to the page, our YouTube page, and then on our Facebook page. Liv always put it out there, and I share it because we want to make sure we got it in one location so everybody's getting it. But man, that was a good one, man. I'm ready. I'm finna go out here and shoot some jumpers on my rim now, boy. I might go video.
Hey, this is a funny thing though. On our timeline, I put it out there. Somebody said the beep and that alarm.
The beep on my yeah. I'm going to change that when I leave. I told Liv that. I kept hearing it, man. I gotta go change that.
Somebody said it. They said, "Man, yeah, you and your host smoke detector keep beeping."
Like, damn. Don't worry about it. I'm going to change that. I heard it the other night. I was like, damn, you know, it becomes a white noise. It becomes a white noise. But man, make sure y'all swing over there and get this device, man. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting it, man. Man, I had a couple of referees hit me up this week. They finna use it for their camp that's got coming up. Man, I had a couple of school teachers, you know. Hey, man, I'm doing 2 for $150, man. That's the best I could do, 2 for $150, man. So y'all get up with me, 2 for $150, because I got a whole new demo coming in 2 months. A whole new demo of the culture. A whole new style. We got to get better, man. You didn't become the statue.
And we got the creator, the street legend, Robert Bobby Reed.
Oh boy! What I'm finna be on? I'm finna go get a battery for my smoke detector. Man.
No, I already know what you're about to be on. You're gonna go get you some tacos.
I stay up in that joint, boy. Hey, if you ain't never had fish tacos, please go to get you some fish tacos. Them tilapias be off the charts, boy.
Man, first of all, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. Levi, my man, Eric Anthony, man, thank you guys for tuning in and continue to, man, support us, man. Share it, man, because this All Ball Chicago is for you guys.
Absolutely, man. And on that note, I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus Living in the building. What you finna be on, big fella?
Man, it's time for me to get ready, man, because I got these shorties I got to go mentor, man. I got to give some knowledge back to these kids, man, because they need it, man. They need it. And if I don't give it, if I don't get it, who will? You know,
we got to go back and do it for the kids, man. So on that note, I'm going to holler at you, big fella.
Holler, my man.
Peace. Let's hit that out.
Welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spiel like back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host.